welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name's Emily, I'm 27 and I live in England. So my last Disneyland Paris vlog went live last Wednesday. So I thought today we would have a little recap, a review of everything, and I'll give my honest opinions on the trip and where we ate and the rides and, you know, things that will be helpful if you are looking to go soon or go next summer or something. But yeah, grab a hot drink. My drink of choice at the moment is a cup of tea. It's such a cold rainy day, so I thought a nice cup of tea and a nice cozy blanket. I've got obviously my favourite jumper on, which I have essentially lived in since we've come back, but I promise I do own other things and I promise this has been washed multiple times. But yeah, grab a hot drink, get cozy, and let's have a catch up. So day one, we actually got, I think, the earliest EuroStar route. It was at I want to say 7:30 or very similar time to that, really near that if it wasn't dead on 7:30. Obviously from St Pancras in London, but because we got the earliest one, we actually stayed in the Premier Hub Hotel, I think it is. It's a 5-minute walk from St Pancras. Yeah, it was just, you know, standard, exactly what you need for one night in London. We also went to see The Lion King the night before, so that was quite nice to start our little Disney trip with a Disney show. So that was really fun. But yes, we got the first EuroStar out, and honestly I was quite nervous. So I'm someone who gets quite anxious when I haven't done something, you know, and I'm having to do something new, and I've never travelled on the EuroStar before. I didn't know what to expect. I just knew it was probably gonna be quite busy because it was August. So I wanted to get there quite early, but to be fair, I think we got to the Mackey's near at 6 a.m. because that's when they started breakfast. And then I think we got to St Pancras in the line by, let's say no later than 6:30, but probably a bit earlier than that, which was an hour before we were due to travel. I'm sure it was that. It might maybe 6:15, maybe an hour and 15 before we were due to travel and leave on our train. But the queue went super quick. It was really long, round the corner, completely out of where the queuing zone was. But yeah, we literally just queued up, ate our food as we queued. The actual process of going through was super simple. I think you scanned your train ticket, so essentially your boarding pass, so your train ticket. And then you go through. Me and Adam just went through that bit separately, but then we went to the same person to do passport control. So you essentially go through border control at the France border before you get on the train. So we went through border control, showed our passports, really simple, did security, again, really, really easy. We had our big cases, but you just, like you would going through any security at the airport, you just put your case on, and yeah, everything else is completely fine. Really quick, really simple. We were probably through that by, I don't know, 7 o'clock. Once you're through, there's not an awful lot around. There's obviously coffee shops and, you know, standard kind of things you'd get, you know, if you're doing airside sort of vibe, but it's really busy. Yeah, we boarded, really, really easy. Everyone was sort of cramming to get on, but you have a seat booked. You don't need to rush. You have a seat booked. You're going to get on the train. You're going to get into your seat. I would, without a doubt, use it again because I really thought it was super simple and everyone was really lovely. Yeah, the journey was great. We arrived into Lille, which again, super simple. It was kind of hard to navigate though, I will say, when you got out into essentially the terminal into the train station. You don't leave the train station, you stay within it, and there's loads of coffee shops. We've got a coffee, the people there are really lovely. But it's just kind of hard to navigate because it's obviously different system to our trains over here. But just ask, because that's what we did, and it was, you know, they were really helpful and lovely. I will say, I went to the toilet at Lille, and so it is €1, but you can pay with your phone or watch or whatever you pay with, as well as cash, or you know, just tap with the bank card. I paid with my phone, but I found it really unclear. So I thought you just paid, and then once you'd gone through the barrier, it split to men and women. It didn't. You have to pay and then go through the right barrier. I didn't, so I then got stuck. Pay attention to the barrier you're going through because it's really awkward, and you then have to ask the person who doesn't really speak English if you can be let into the female toilet because you've gone through the wrong one. The ears also get put, I broke, so sorry. I did put my ears on in Lille, and there were other people. I will say that they were children who had their ears on, but I was like, I'm going to Disney, I'm going to put my ears on. So if you want to wear your ears in Lille, put the damn ears on, because I did, and I wore them with pride. Yeah, we arrived in Disney, and yeah, at this point I was super excited. Like, I was basically buzzing.
Arrived at Disney, obviously we couldn't check into our hotel yet, actually, so the hotel check-in was from 3. We could go and check in, we just couldn't go to our room, so we went and checked in, got all our like magic passes and things, and then put our bags and luggage, and we didn't actually go into the park.
Please take my advice when I say plan your magic hour. I just think make the most of it. You're the only people in the park. Only hotel guests will be in the park. It's still going to be relatively busy on certain rides, but make the most of that time. Like, go in with a plan, because if you don't, you're going to waste that hour, and that's like the best hour that I think you can have in the parks.
Plan when like you're watching fireworks, plan when you're going to be watching the parades. We only watched, like properly watched ours.
Okay, I'm rapidly losing light. So I'm gonna not waffle on about everything. I'm just gonna hit the key points. So my first 3 points: get the EuroStar. It's so much better for luggage because you can both take a big suitcase, and there's no extra charge. It's included in just do the EuroStar. It's so much easier. Second point, stay in a Disney hotel. You get perks with it. You can easily get to Disney Village and into the Disney parks. You get the early magic hour. There's perks to staying. I think the third thing would be is to plan your magic hour, plan when you're watching things. Be open to plans changing, and you don't need to plan every single minute of your trip, but plan the big thing. Something else I'll say is, I think a lot of people forget about not the big rides. The treehouse where you can walk up to the top. There's the Aladdin Passage. You can go under the castle. You can go into the castle. There's so many walky things that you can do and explore, and you will see so much more of the park, and discover like little secrets and like fun things that you can do in the parks if you do the walking stuff. Despite what people say about Disneyland Paris, yes, it's a small park, but that park has so many hidden little details, which, like, I see things online and I'm like, I haven't seen that. Like, where was that in the park? So I like, next time I go, I'm like, oh, I'm going to try and find this or this. I guess that's top tip number 4. Take your time. Okay, let's talk restaurants. So we ate at Walt's first. It was amazing. It felt very, what's the word? Like, bougie, I guess. I think it's the most bougie restaurant, I would say, in Disney. Just like, other than the character dining and anything essentially like the royal banquet, stuff like that. That's like bougie because it's the characters, it's the royal banquet. But I think just like vibe wise, you go in, it's quiet, there's lovely music playing, it's fancy. But it was lovely. The waiter we had, he was really, really friendly. The food was incredible. We loved it. The only thing we did say was like, we felt like we had to be quiet, and the tables were quite close together as well. That could have just been where we were located in the restaurant. But that was the only thing we will say, like, we felt like we couldn't have like proper conversations because the table next to us was like right here. So we could hear what they were talking about and they could hear what we were talking about. But generally speaking, we really, really enjoyed Walt's. I think, so we rated our restaurants. I think that was the second, that came second place. The next day we ate at the Pirates restaurant. Now, I had seen really mixed reviews on Pirates. I wasn't actually overly fussed. That was the one I was like, if we don't want to do 3, that's the one I kind of would cancel. But Adam really wanted to go, and I'm so glad we did, because oh my goodness, it was the best vibe. The theming is incredible, like incredible. You're right, like you're sat right next to the ride. He said we had the best seat in the house, and I kind of think we did, to be fair. We were right next to the ride. We had no one, like no table could be next to us. Where we were sat, basically there was no traffic going past us other than our waiter. He was really lovely. Like, all the people we came into contact with, like servers, were really, really friendly. Yeah, the food again, oh my god, the food in Pirates. I have tried to recreate the main meal I had in Pirates multiple times because it was that tasty. Guys, eat at Pirates. I know there's mixed reviews online, but oh my gosh, it was so good. We ate at Remy's. This is the one I was most excited about, and don't get me wrong, it was amazing, but we did put it third place out of the 3 that we ate at. We felt, I mean, the service was great, but it just wasn't as great as the other places. But still, we just got really lucky, I think, at the other places with our servers. Because yeah, the server we had in Remy's was still amazing, super friendly, funny, but you know, we just got really lucky at the other 2 places, I think. Food was really, really tasty. Again, would eat there again. The food at the other places was just a bit better, but would eat at Remy's again, by far. Yeah, without a doubt, would eat at Remy's again. If you do want to tip, you have to do it in cash. There are water filling stations around the park. A lot of them are actually in the bathroom. Like if you go into the toilets, there'll be your hand washing taps, and then there'll be taps, and it will have a water bottle sign above it, and that's what you refill your water with. There's a few dotted outside of them, but they're all basically in the toilets. I think my last 2 points are do the skip tax, I think the app. So basically when you go to Disney, you can, if you save all your receipts and scan them onto this app called Skip Tax, you can get a portion of the tax back. You can't get all of it back, but you can get a portion of it back. When you get to Lille, before you go through passport control, I believe, or is it before security? I believe you can do it there. That's where you basically will go to the machine and you'll sort out your tax. If you try and do it after you've gone through security, it doesn't work. The machine isn't working. I think I'm going to end the video here. If you have any questions or anything like that, drop a comment below and I will reply back to you. I hope you've enjoyed my video. I hope you're having a lovely day, whatever you're doing, whenever you're watching this. Please like and subscribe. There are more videos coming, I promise. I'm trying to post every Wednesday and every Sunday. But yes, have a lovely day and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye.